What's up, viewers? How you guys doing? How's everybody holding up with the market meltdown the last couple days? Hey, Captain Crunch, welcome. We'll get started in a couple minutes here as more people join. Can you guys hear me okay? I think the music's a little loud. What's going on? Jared and Austin, welcome. We'll hang out for a couple minutes here and then we'll get started. How's the sound? Can you guys hear me all right? Austin's buying the dip. Props to Austin. If I had any cash left, I would buy the dip, for sure. But I'm not getting paid for another couple of days. When the money comes in, I'm definitely going to be adding. AMD put credit spreads. What's AMD got going on today? Because that's the one I'm supposed to be trading for the 3K challenge. I just haven't started it yet. I was going to do an Iron Condor, and I probably would have gotten blown out by now. Yeah, AMD's not looking too hot, huh? Stonked up, welcome. What's going on, guys? Axe is getting crushed by the market. Yeah, I've been there. Justin, is AMC really rising? No. No, it actually looks like shit. RSI below 50, lost his 50-day moving average. MACD is looking like trash. I don't know about AMC going to the moon. Not this week, anyway. We'll get started in a minute here. Hey, I'm going to... so my homie hooked me up with some merch. This beanie and this hoodie right here. I dig it. It's pretty comfortable. He made his own merch store. He's one of the Lancers on Discord of House Theta. So I'm gonna drop his link here to his store. I'm gonna pin it. So check it out if you dig merch. The hat's not available yet. I want to get the Theta Gang hat back into the store because I know you guys like that one. But he does have some cool stuff. So let's throw it in there for now. If you use Mikey10, you get 10% off. All right. Looks like we're not going to get too many more people for now because it's the middle of a work day. So let's, Kyle asked a good question. After I answer that one, we'll go ahead and get started. So Kyle says, what's the biggest risk I've ever taken? That's a fun one. Biggest risk I've ever taken. I once put my entire portfolio into a biotech stock. This was back in 2014. I discovered what covered calls were. So I put my entire portfolio into a biotech stock with IV that was like through the roof. And I figured, oh, all I got to do is sell a covered call and I'll make 25% just like that. But turns out there was an FDA decision that was happening the next day. Luckily, the FDA decision passed and the stock blew out my covered call and I walked away with some profit. But if it had failed, I would have easily lost like 75% of my portfolio in the one shot. It would have been pretty terrible. All right, well, let's go ahead then. Let's check it out. Let me set up my OBS here. First thing I want to do, let's check out what's going on with how I'm handling some of the changes in my portfolio based on this dip. I want to show this to you guys. Let me get my OBS reorganized here. And there we go. All right, let's go back to YouTube. Okay, so here we are. My portfolio has been higher, but this isn't looking too bad. This is my my non-retirement account. Still floating in close to 600,000, but it was a lot higher a week ago because obviously we took a couple of hits here. All right, so first things first. What are the big changes going on? How am I handling this? So everything's pretty much normal. Everything's fine with Apple not doing anything. Coin is still sucking ass, so no change there. Energy transfer I'm still sitting on. Here's the ones that kind of matter here. FXI, I'm playing it as a strangle. So what I did was, or I started off playing it as a strangle. So I sold the put at the $41 strike and sold the call at the $43 strike. Pulled some premium from it. The stock has since dropped because obviously this was not a good time to sell puts on a Chinese index. So what I did was rolled down the $43 call to 41, same expiration. So what that allowed me to do was take the gain from the short call and then rolled it down to a spot where I could grab more premium. And now, we're up 60% now on this straddle position. I rolled them both into the 41 strike. So it looks worse than it is, but obviously my put is getting hammered right now because FXI is floating down at about 38.64. Not looking too hot. Let's rearrange this a little bit. Not looking its hottest right now, but fortunately I was able to pull some from that short call. What I'm going to do here, if the stock continues to drop, if China doesn't bail out what the hell is it called? Not Evergreen. Evermont, whatever the fuck it is. Evergrande. If it doesn't bail out Evergrande and the Chinese market continues tanking, all I'm going to have to do is, again, close the short call, take the gain, maybe buy some more shares with it, and then second, roll this put out in time. Right now my strike is at 41, and I sold this thing for only 78 cents. So my break even is like 40.22. I'm going to need to roll this thing out in time in order to bring my strike down to closer to the stock's current price. So that's my adjustment method there. And then of course I would also sell another short call on top of it. In case the stock continues to fall, I'll be able to pull some extra money. GameStop, this is so I've been running I need to make a video on this. This is called the Sonic spread. So for the last several months, I've been wheeling GameStop at about $200 and pulling premium from it. I've pulled enough that even though my hedge right here, this $150 put, even though that's very likely to expire worthless, that doesn't even matter because the wheel over this amount of time has already more than compensated for the entire cost of that put. Of that put. And I've got more money coming in pretty much every month. So I need to make a video on that, but that's a very interesting strategy. You're wheeling, and then just to protect yourself in case the stock tanks, you buy a put at a much lower strike to provide you some protection. Your goal is to make more money wheeling than you're going to lose on that hedge if the stock stays elevated. And I think this is going to expire on October 15th above $150. So I'm likely to lose the total value off this hedge. But I have made so much more by wheeling that I'm not even worried about that. Alright, lithium's okay. LRCX is getting stomped on. I'm very upset about that one. No change. Okay, here's another example of a strangle strategy. This one is, I've been using strangles a lot on Triple Q lately, and most of the time the stock is relatively stable and on a slow upward trajectory, so it's pretty easy to bracket. You sell an out of the money call, you sell out of the money puts, and as long as the stock stays in between for any amount of time, you're going to be winning. You're going to be taking value. Unfortunately, Triple Q has decided to drop pretty substantially over the past couple days, and now if you look at my short put here, I'm at a loss of about $1,200. That sucks. But over the past about a week, I've rolled down my call several times. So the first time I rolled down my call from, I think it was 383, something like that I sold. It was getting low on premium. I was at like 85% gain because the stock had dropped so much. I bought back those calls, took the big gain, rolled it down to $79 strike. That had given me about $800. And then I sold yesterday, or the day before yesterday. I had bought back the $79 call for another $400 gain, and now I sold this one at $376. So far I've gained about $1,200 from the rolling. I'm at a loss of about $1,200 here. This puts me at pretty much break even. There's a lot of extrinsic value left on this Triple Q short put at 364. The stock is at 359 and change, and this thing is going for $900 right now. So this price is assuming that the stock is going to drop a lot more by October 15th. I think we're due for a bounce, so I'm not sweating that too much, but if it does continue to drop, I'm just going to buy back the 376 short call, take my gains once again, and then sell the 364 short call and turn this into a straddle and take some more gains that way. It is weeks like this where I'm happy that I have my dividend portfolio too. I've got NLY, NLA Capital, I've got Altria, I've got a preferred dividend ETF or preferred shares dividend ETF, Prudential, all of these good dividend plays throwing me that extra money that I can reinvest into more risky options. And then here's a Snap poor man's covered call. So this one's been kind of funky because Snap has gone up so much lately, and then it just wants to keep rising and falling, like big differences. 5% a week. About, what was it, Thursday? Or I think it was Friday morning actually. I realized I'm about to get assigned on a poor man's covered call on Snap because the stock had gone up above my strike at 73. I had sold a call at the $73 strike. Stock went all the way up to 80, and I really didn't want to get assigned, and I didn't necessarily want to close either. So to get the strike at 80, I rolled out all the way to December 17th. And that gave me enough premium to roll up my strike and still come out with a credit. So that one's fun. And hey, yesterday I sold the Tesla put at 340 at 640 for $132. Just a little extra pocket money because I don't think Tesla is dropping $130 by Friday. If doing that naked is crazy, then sue me. But as I'm looking at it, I'm going to walk out on Friday with an extra $132 that I can just throw into some shares or buy myself some steaks or whatever. That's my portfolio. I'll just scroll through it in case you guys want to see. I'm still really bullish on LRCX, even though it got downgraded. Or no, it didn't get downgraded. Its peers got downgraded. I think AMD, MU, something like that, AMAT, its rival, all got downgraded. So the idea is that LRCX, being a very similar company, making the machines that other companies use to make semiconductors, is also going to be in dire straits. The stock has dropped today. But I'm still very bullish on that one. I like LRCX a lot. And GameStop means I need a little bounce out of GameStop because this negative 750 is not pleasing to me. My break even here is 179, so we're still a little bit in the hole. I don't want to get assigned at 195 and then be $5 below my break even. That would suck. But there's my portfolio. What do you guys want to look at? What do we got in the comments here? Let's check it out. Mikey, 500,000, yeah. Well, in this one account, yeah. In this one account. Stonked Up says, how much have I lowered my cost basis on coin with your covered calls? Not a lot, because I've been really, really conservative with my covered calls on Coinbase. I've been selling like the 5 delta, so just pulling like $60 at a time. I'd probably say I had maybe $500 I've pulled back. So my cost basis is probably still like 367, 368. Now I'm okay with that because I think Coinbase at this price is this is a bargain right here. I mean, the thing is doubling in revenue every single year. I'm not the least bit worried about Coinbase over the long term. So I'm just going to hold on to it. I'll sell my covered calls where I can, get some extra cash for it. And then I think one day we're going to look at Coinbase in the 200s and be like, man, why didn't I buy more? I think that's the direction we're going to go here. So I'm fine holding on to Coinbase at this price. I'm not too worried about it. What else we got in here? Gandhi, Destroyer of Worlds, says, is it ever a bad time to buy index funds? I've got about 25% of my portfolio in cash from covered call selling. Should I buy back in or wait for a big dip? Always hold some of your portfolio in the indexed ETFs. I mean, I've got 25% of my portfolio in triple Q at pretty much all times. And then I've got leaps on SPY that are acting like 300 more shares. So if you have 25% of your cash and you're wondering, is this the time to buy? Yes, it is. Take some of that cash, maybe dollar cost average in, use half of it now to invest, use half of it in another month. That's what the approach I would take. MU and AMD are cash generating monsters? I hope so, because I'm supposed to be using that one. Where do we get Theta Gang merch? So Edwin, in my pinned comment at the top, you've got Fire Nance's merch store. That's where I got this. He sent it to me to go and model for him. It's pretty comfortable. I like it. Zane says RAM and S. Okay. Do I have Kim Jong-un is asking, do I have any PMCCs on right now? Yeah, my PMCC is in Snap. So I've got 3 calls, 3 leaps at the $50 strike and 3 leaps at the $60 strike. The 50s are doing great. The 60s not so much. But against these 5 leaps, I'm selling short calls against 3 of them. That way, no matter how high the stock goes, I'm still going to come out with something. So this is really, really good here. I've got a lot of protection to the upside. And anytime I make money like this one, I'm almost certain I'm going to make 82. What is that? I'm going to make $127 off of this, off of Snap. So I'm just going to buy some shares with it. I'll pick up 2 or so. Stonked Up says, when did I go long on India? So India, so what I'm doing is I'm using this around the world strategy. I'm selling Strangles on triple Q and whatever country I want to buy into. So I wanted to buy into Brazil. I sold Strangles on triple Q and the Brazil ETF, that's EWZ. And I continued doing that until I made enough profit to buy 100 shares. And then I moved on to the next country, which was China, that I timed very, very poorly because that one's not doing as well. But I still made enough profit to buy a whole bunch of shares. So I have 100 shares of China right now. If this trade gets back in order, I'll have a few more. India is my next target for it. So the Strangles on triple Q, I'm rolling the profit into shares of India. The more I do, the more countries I do, the closer I'm getting to just, TW, or Total World Index, Vanguard Total World, VTI, I think is what it is. If you have like 15 countries that you're holding in your portfolio, you might as well just hold VTI. It's the Total World Index. It's a mix of all the companies that you own anyway. You can just do it with fewer tickers. But I'm going to continue doing India until I get 100 shares. I haven't decided on my next country yet, but it's probably Mexico. What else we got here? Will I continue to sell naked weekly puts on stocks like Tesla with high price premium and low deltas? Yes, I will, because I am now confident enough that I can roll whenever I need to. I finished a video on rolling today. I'm going to publish it pretty soon as I get the okay from the sponsor, who's kind of holding out a little bit. They want to publish it later or whatever. I'm giving it to the Patreon people today. I'm hoping that by like Friday I'll be able to publish the rolling video. But that is what's allowing me to sell short puts on Tesla or LRCX consistently and pull premium from it. I'll do a couple more questions, but I do want to move on. We're going to look at some. We're going to look at a couple of different tickers, and then we'll talk about NFTs, because I've been getting interested in NFTs lately, and I tweeted about it, and then someone reached out to me and they had some information for me, so we'll come back to that. Andre says he's about to get his ass handed to him on Palantir Iron Condor with a $24 put expiring Friday. How do I damage control this? All right, let's see. What do we got going on with Palantir? All right, you have a $24 short put, and you're worried about getting your ass handed to you. All right, you're still within your strikes, so I wouldn't worry at all yet. I think you're totally fine. If you start getting busted, like if it drops down to 22, all of a sudden you're in trouble. You've got to take down the calls wing to a lower strike. You might even roll out in time on both wings, but definitely bring down, if your calls are at like the 27 and the stock is down at 22, roll that down a couple of strikes. Get yourself some extra premium. You can get some more value from it. Staunch says, should he join Theta Gang with 8K? Yeah, that's plenty. You need like 2,000. I started the 3K challenge with $3,000. Godfrey, Mike, are we trying to YOLO spy puts? No, please don't. Oh, what's up with GoPro? That's just a straight bet that GoPro is going to go bankrupt. That's it. That's just like a straight gamble. I threw $100 and something at it that I got from Premium or Dividend or something like that. All right. I think that's pretty much all the good questions we have here. Firestick, what do I think about an all PMCC portfolio on Tesla? No, don't do that. If you have that much money, just wheel it or hold something else. Don't do all PMCCs. But I like where your head's at, though. I like the audacity. All right, let's look at a couple of tickers here. So here's ones that I find interesting. All right, Andre sent me a super chat. Hey, thank you for doing that. Money. I've been looking forward to doing that all day. Hey, if you've got a question, Andre, you are now VIP because you super chatted. But let's look at a couple of tickers here. One of the stocks I'm most bullish on is LRCX. So it obviously looks like absolute shit right now. This is like the craziest chart. But over the longer term, let's go out to the weekly. It looks a lot prettier. So I became bullish on LRCX when it was trading for about, can you guys see this okay? Let me know if you need me to zoom in more. I'll just zoom in. I started getting bullish on LRCX when it was trading at about the 300s. So I think it would have been about somewhere in like May of 2020, something like that. And I was looking for how can I invest in the 5G rollout? Like, what should I invest in? And it turns out no matter which organization succeeds, whether it's Apple that has the best products, whether it's Microsoft, whether it's the telecom companies, Comcast, whatever, you name it, every single one of these is going to need chips. And the ones that make the chips, AMD, Taiwan Semiconductor, they're all coming from one of three companies. The machines that make the chips are all built by Lam Research, AMAT, and some like Danish or Belgian, Netherlands company, something like that, that doesn't have that much exposure to the US. So the US market, it's really LRCX and AMAT. This one is making machines and chips that making the machines that other companies need to make their chips. So we've got a big movement, a big push to get more semiconductor production into the United States. I think there's a couple that are built. I think there's a Taiwan Semiconductor is trying to build plants in Arizona. You've got fabrication plants being set up across the Southwest. LRCX is going to have a huge amount of orders for all of its all those machines, and they're going to get contracts to service them. So it's big money for them. I'm really bullish on this one. I'm already up 100%. Well, I was. Now it's probably more like 90-something%. But I'm really digging this one. I still think it's a good bet at this price. 375 or 575 is good. We're coming back to the 50-day moving average, so I think we're going to get some support here and just continue on the upward trajectory. It's not looking great. There's a lot of outflow right now. There's a lot of people taking profits, but the stock is staying pretty elevated despite this outflow since May. So it's been a little while. But I think we got a lot of room left here. Oh, Dick Butt works at AMAT. We're going to ask him some questions. But first, Stonked Up sent me another super chat, so thank you. He just wants to see the money go there. Woo! Alright, speaking of LRCX, ASML is showing weakness right now too. I think that might be the Danish or Netherlands, the Dutch company. What is it, ASML? I think it might be the Dutch company that's very similar. Yeah, so kind of the same deal. I don't want ads. Alright, so they had a bearish crossover on the, this might be one of the ones that got downgraded today, I think. It was pretty stupid. You know, a whole bunch of these semiconductor companies got downgraded. It makes no sense to me personally, but this is what happens when you downgrade something. It drops. The thing dropped to, what is that, 100 and, it was at like 875, now it's at 5, you know, it drops over $100 over 2 days, and it's pretty ridiculous. But hey, this could be a good investment too. You know, if I had bought that one, I'd likewise be up 100%, since my buying pointing to LRCX. And the other one is AMAT. Who said they worked at AMAT? Dick Butt? I think. Hey, what is your what's the order flow look like at AMAT? Are you guys seeing an uptick in requests for services and for items? Tell me about that one. I'm very interested in seeing if my theory that these companies are going to do very well because there's a 5G rollout, there's more technology needs than ever when it comes to chips. I want to see if that theory holds out when it comes to actually where the rubber hits the road. We'll look at MVIS. Yeah, let's do that. All right, Golden Arrow has Soxhole calls. I've got a couple of Soxhole shares. Let's do MVIS. All right, well, I don't know anything about Microvision other than that it's done some memes. Now, on the technical level, I mean, you're below 50 on the RSI. It put up a good fight, but it eventually broke and came to the downside. Is the video scrolling left to right to you guys? Tell me. It could just be I don't know what's going on there. But MVIS, all right, it broke the 50 on the RSI, so it's coming off a little bit. It's hit the 50-day moving average, and the MACD is not looking strong at all. It's looking very weak. So it's possible to see some more downside here. But we have hit the 50 DMA, so we got that going for it. I'd be a little hesitant to get in at this price just because, I don't know, let's look at the daily and see what's going on. If we look at the daily, it's, yeah, we've already punctured the, we're actually looking at a bearish, what is that called, a death cross. Yeah, this wouldn't be something I'd invest in at this price. If you're bullish on it for the fundamental purposes, then start dollar cost averaging in, but this doesn't look like a bullish trade for me if you're looking at like a 1 month trade or shorter. How long do I hold on to these bad boys? If you could sell covered calls, I would start doing that personally. Logan Tanner says he's been using the idea of reinvesting profits into shares with fractionals on ETFs and consumer small market caps for the Freeloader Challenge. We should talk about the Freeloader Challenge, Logan. Remind me to come back to that because I've had a lot of success with the Freeloader Challenge. It turns out if you do some freeloader stuff, you start getting ads for more freeloader things. And if you start doing some focus groups and clinical trials, you get advertisements for higher cost ones or higher reward ones. So it's been going really well. I got $200 yesterday from a focus group. Not $205 actually. So it's been really cool. Remember to come back to that. Intel is planning to build. Hey John, what's up? Welcome. All right, to drip on Soxhole calls. A month ago, Intel requested that their polishing heads be made priority before everyone else's. I guess they must be. Yeah, so they're asking AMAT to polish their heads priority. Wow, that's a really good request. I hope they're paying for it. It's starting to slow down now, but we still have a lot of work left, and overtime is nice. All right, and so it's looking pretty good then for all these semiconductor companies. All right, somebody wants to look at TTD. This is like a bond, or the trade desk. That was something else. I don't know about this company either. I mean, the technicals don't necessarily scream buy right now either. But if it's got a bullish fundamental purpose, yeah, and by all means, man, take a bite. But technically, I don't think it looks good for the short term. I think it looks a little bit bullish. But we should start seeing some support, I don't know, somewhere soon. Maybe down here at 60. It's still a little ways to go before it hits 60. But this is a good DCA price, I think. Let's look at the weekly. Yeah, we're at the 50 week moving average, actually. Doesn't look too strong on the technicals here either, but I think we're going to start seeing some support around like $60. So that's my opinion on it. Yeah, it did come down from 100. I mean, that's a big dip to have come down from 100 like that. I didn't even notice that. I mean, it's definitely coming down. You might have another 10-15% to lose. 60 is look like where it's going to have some support, but it's there's not a lot holding it up right here. But if you're bullish fundamentally, take a bite at this price, man. Oh, TGD is the one he told me to buy at 48. Yeah, the one that was slinging between 48 and 100 in like 2 days, and then came back down to 20. It was crazy. All right, let's do Corsair. We'll do that one, and then we'll move on to something else. What do you guys want to do after this? I mean, we could do and we could look at pretty much whatever you want to. We could just look at the market and see what's going on. We could watch some Kramer videos. I do still want to do the sponsored portion soon. It's about NFTs. We can have an NFT chat, and we could look at some projects, and then we'll talk about the one that's sponsoring this video for $2,000. Corsair Gaming. All right, so this one. See, I don't like a lot of the ones that get too much hype on Wall Street Bets, because as soon as you get that Wall Street Bets pump, like Corsair going to 41, that's where you start. You know, that's it. That's your squeeze. That's your pump. And everybody that bought at these prices, where volume was really, really high. I mean, look how high that volume was. It's gonna start. All these bag holders are gonna start paying themselves, you know, whatever they can get, and ditching the stock. So that's why Corsair scares me. And all the same thing with all these other WSB pumps. I mean, let's look at Clove. I mean, this same kind of deal, right? Like this. Look at the volume when the thing spiked. So all these people were buying very, very high, and now they're giving up. They're selling off. So that's my opinion on it. I don't like anything that's caught the WSB pump already. If you can get ahead of it, by all means, go for it. But this is not my one. All right, somebody said please, so we're gonna do SDC, and then we'll move on. All right. What do you like about SDC? Oh, this is a Smile Direct. Yeah, same deal. Like, I mean, you see this big pump right here. Huge, huge, huge volume. A lot of people bought between like 6 and 7. You know, I mean, in this one day, you had more buying volume than all this selling volume over the last week. So you still got bag holders that are just going to want to dump shares. I mean, this isn't something I'm going to want to hold. I mean, I've got Invisalign. It's in my mouth right now. And I mean, I don't like it. I don't like the product that much. I better have like a bomb-ass smile after this, because I'm straight up not having a good time. And I think Smile Direct Club, it's basically the same product as Invisalign, just a knockoff version of it. And I don't think that there's demand for that. And I don't think there's demand for shares either. So I think if you can get in, you know, nice and early, below 5, I mean, it can't really go much lower than that, right? But the technicals are not showing me anything to love here. The price action is not showing me anything to love. It's just bleh. All right, you guys want trading view? Okay. Yeah, MK2 and 3 remembers. All right, you want to do trading view? You guys are. I think I've used this before. I don't know why you guys love this one, but all right. All right, there we go. Trading view. Y'all happy? Let's go back to Smile Direct. All right. So yeah, I'm not loving Smile Direct right now. This is I guess this is a lot better than stock charts, to be honest with you. All right. Coinbase is dead. I don't think Coinbase is dead, man. I think Coinbase is going to be just fine. It's not looking so hot in the near term. But I don't think there's anybody that's going to push Coinbase out. I mean, they're going to maintain their market position for sure. Now, I did completely screw up when I bought Coinbase. I got way too excited. That was fucked up. But I'm still bullish on it. I'm not worried about that one. Other than pump and dump, the only possible explanation is that elective surgeries and medical procedures are coming back now. True, but I don't think Smile Direct Club needs, you don't have to go to the dentist for it, or you're going to have to go to the dentist one time. I think Smile Direct doesn't really require that people are out and about doing that sort of thing. Yeah, okay. So, and then we'll do, alright, so Soxel, somebody brought up Soxel. I like the triple leveraged semiconductor ETF. I mean, it's looking like poop today for the past couple of days, but I mean, tell me if this thing is going down or the long term. I mean, don't you wish that you bought in like literally anywhere? So I've got some shares of Soxel. I'm trying to get some more of them. That one I'm going to stay bullish on, definitely. All right, I think that's going to be it for that one. Do you guys want to check out some NFTs? So I've been interested in NFTs because I look at, let's look at what the highest, let's look at what's selling for the highest right now on OpenSea. I should have found out how to do this prior, but all right, let's say like the minimum, like 10 Ethereum. Well, let's do like 30 Ethereum. So I've been interested in NFTs, and I'm wondering, why are some NFTs selling for these like ridiculously high prices? I mean, is anybody actually buying this NFT? 40 Ethereum. What is that? Like $120,000 for this JPEG. And I'm wondering, how did I not get in on this? All right, this Bored Ape Yacht Club, 47 Ethereum. This penguin, 77 Ethereum. Like, who's even the bid right now is still, this is like $7,000. So I'm wondering, all right, I know there's the theory out there that NFTs are just people buying their own NFT art in order to bump up the price so they can sell more of them. I get that. You know, if you sell one of your 2 NFTs for 100 Ethereum, you sell it to yourself, nobody knows. Then all of a sudden your other NFT of the same type is worth 100 Ethereum. So I think there is an element of that. And then I think there is probably some money laundering going on, but it's not being done on OpenSea. I mean, this is not a good place to launder money. They've got your KYC information. So that's not going to work either. And meanwhile, you've literally got people, I mean, what's like the above 30 and has offers on it? Let's see what pulls up. So, I mean, 6 Ethereum for this thing. 6 Ethereum is what, like $18,000, $19,000, something like that. That's high. All right, this thing sold for 43 Ethereum last time. So what are we missing? So anyway, I tweeted about NFTs, and I said I'm interested in seeing, are we going to be able to get more NFT projects going into to the point where they actually have a use case? Like, it's one thing to just have this picture is cool, but I can snip that, and it's identical to if you had bought it. Now, owning the NFT for actual use, that could be something really exciting. If this NFT could act as a key to a community, or a key to some kind of drops, or what else we got? Any kind of backdoor entrance to some kind of organization, or drop for other NFTs. Like things like that, now we've got an interesting case. And I think NFTs have a really good future in the music industry. And I'm wondering, why are people not making more NFTs out of their music? Like anybody, especially those things that are in the commercial commons right now, people are still NFTing it, like that Giphy cat thing that's been flying around with the rainbows behind it since like 2003. That thing is in the Creative Commons. It doesn't do anything for you to own that GIF, or GIF, I don't even know how you guys want to say it. But if you had music, if somebody produces music and NFTs it, now all of a sudden anybody who wants to play that music, it is easily identifiable if they do or do not own the rights to it through that NFT. That's an avenue I think we could see that's really exciting. And when it comes to pictures, now pictures are cool, they're fun, but I'm not spending $112,000 on this image. I don't care if it is the original NFT. I think there is some intrinsic value in being able to get something directly made by an individual, not a forged version of it. But it's not something I'm going to spend that kind of money on when there's no commercial use. But anyway, I tweeted about this, and a company reached out to me, and they said, it's funny that you bring this up, because we're making a JPEG NFT that's going to have access to a couple of exclusive clubs that were pretty unspecified, but it sounds like they're going to allow drops for other NFTs. By owning one NFT, you're going to receive it's kind of like forks and dividends from it. Like, that's kind of cool. It's not really what I had in mind. I was thinking more like access to play a video game, or to get something that you could stream only if you owned the NFT. But having something like that, like receiving more drops, dividend NFTs, that's kind of cool, and I had never thought of that prior. So they offered me a sponsorship, $2,000 to advertise it in the stream, and then I would get 2 of their mints. And I was like, deal, I'm done. So hold on one second, let me get some privacy real quick, and I'll post there. I gotta pull up from my email. So let me get privacy. I'll pull that up, and then I'll drop their link to it. So this one, I think it's a pretty cool project that they've got going on here. Let me see. And I'm glad them finally getting included in an NFT project, because I've been interested in getting involved here for a while. I think if you're not buying into NFTs, and I think we're kind of missing out on something. There is some value in being able to get in on a club like this pretty early. So let's do, let me see. Yeah, simple. Okay. Let me drop their link here. So this is the one that is sponsoring this video. It's called Wealthy Whales. They're about to mint in 2 days, 3 hours, and 53 minutes. So same idea. You know, we're looking at varying JPEGs of whales with different levels of rarity. So you've got, let me see, you know, Vincent Van Whale, he's got his hat on, versus you've got Wacky Whale with the crown. There's going to be a version out there of Vincent Van Whale which has a crown on. And some of these different pieces are, you know, more rare than others. Now, what makes it a little bit different than the other JPEG NFT projects is that you're going to be able to get access, let me say, rarities, where are we at? I mean, they've got their Discord group. And then somewhere in here, it talks, I'm screwing it up a little bit. Somewhere in here, it talks about the opportunity to get in on some of these here, special surprise drop for Whale Society members. So when I talk to them about this, it sounds like what they're going to do is have NFT dividends, which is kind of a really cool approach to it. So by owning the NFT, you own a string of characters that represents this NFT. And that acts as a key, much like a private key, that gets you into whatever club or organization. And in this case, it's going to be this Whale Society unit. So 10,000 keys are going to be available to this society. And with those keys, you also now make yourself eligible for the drops that are going to occur later. And I think that's where the real value is. That's something I hadn't thought of prior when I was thinking about what case use can we find for NFTs. This is a fun one. So I'm happy with this project. I'm happy that I'm included on it. I'm very excited to see what they come up with as far as the drops go with the special surprises here. And of course, they've got their Discord already for people that have them. So Brian is asking, he says, what are the intrinsic value of these NFTs? Like, why are they valued aside from they cute? Now, in a lot of cases, so I think that's I wrestled with that for like weeks before I finally said there maybe is something to NFTs. I mean, we were talking about NFTs for like, what was it, Saturday Night Live? It was months, something, that was like January, February. I was like, I don't understand, why would anybody want to own an NFT? All right, now, I mean, I could go and I could find Van Gogh's Starry Night. All right, I could go to Walmart and print out a high-resolution copy of Starry Night and put it on my wall. It's not really Van Gogh's Starry Night. In fact, it might even look better than Van Gogh's Starry Night. There is intrinsic value in having something that the artist actually painted himself, even if the actual quality of it is lower. The difference with NFTs is I can take a copy, a perfect carbon copy of an NFT by just snipping it, and nobody would know just by looking at it. You'll look at my Van Gogh Starry Night on the wall and know that it came from Walmart, because it's not painted by Van Gogh. You can't, and we would all agree that there is absolutely value in having Van Gogh's Starry Night painting versus something that I got out of Walmart or Ross. We all agree on that. There is intrinsic value in having something painted by the hand of the creator. NFTs don't quite have that. So the intrinsic value approach, by saying this is something that the artist made himself, that goes away quite a bit, because you can't look at an NFT and just visually know that it's not the original one. You can't tell that it's a forgery like that. So the people that say there is intrinsic value here, they have to go another step beyond it. And they have to say, even though it looks exactly the same, it is a carbon copy, I know that it's not actually the original produced by the artist behind it. And that takes a little bit more of enthusiasm. You must be a little more enthusiastic about your NFT art before that even makes sense to you. But for a lot of people out there, there is value in saying, I like this artist, I like the art, let's go ahead and buy it and I'll have the original one. So Ross says NFTs have no intrinsic value unless they have utility attached to them. But do you say the same thing about paintings? I mean, like if I put a painting on a wall, there's really no intrinsic value to it other than that it looks good. Like it might look pleasant. I think the same exact thing applies to NFTs. Now, I've never heard of anybody printing an NFT and putting it on their wall. I suppose you could. But I think there is just a little bit of intrinsic value in knowing that what you have is the artist himself. So I can dig that. And then Jut says, what's to stop you making an NFT of an image that already has an NFT? Nothing. There is nothing that's going to stop you from doing that. Just like there's nothing stopping me from going and putting Da Vinci's Last Supper on my wall, nothing at all is stopping me from going a snipping tool right here and going like this, snipping that. And I can even now, I can copy this. I could, if I get the dimensions perfect, I can even NFT mint it myself and do whatever I want with it. And nobody unless you're checking, you wouldn't even know that it wasn't mine. And we've got guys on the Theta Gang Discord that use NFTs that are worth $400,000. They make it their avatar. So I think it's a very controversial thing to say, is there intrinsic value in having the original? Does it even matter to you if you can make a perfect carbon copy? And let me think about it this way. If I had a machine that could atom by atom reproduce the same exact picture as Van Gogh's Starry Night, perfect copy of it, would it be Van Gogh's Starry Night? It's the same exact painting built atom by atom. Is that the same thing as the one that he painted himself? In some ways it is, in some ways it isn't. So for an art enthusiast, it's absolutely not the same thing. I think we get the same type of deal with NFTs. So I mean, if we look at Rarible, all right, tell me, what is the utility of cool cats? Or let's do galactic apes, because I know about this one a little bit. All right, $19,000 worth of galactic apes have been sold today. So, or last 7 days. All right, what is the utility of this? There's really nothing about this that provides utility unless you're an enthusiast. So, anyway, that's what I think. I think the JPEG NFT game it's limited. I think right now there's a lot of speculation that's happening in the NFT market, and I think a lot of that is going to go away. Let me see. Where's my thing? Hold on one second, because I want to pull up the ones that I made. I want to make sure I'm not like giving away my personal information or whatever. All right, so here's the ones. So this is what I minted, mostly just for fun. So these are made after some of the people in the Discord. So here's Power Cows. We make this NFT. You could easily, it's an MP4 file. You could easily copy it. You could do whatever you want with it once you copy it too, and nobody's really going to know. I'm not checking to make sure that this Power Cow NFT isn't floating around the internet somewhere. But for some people that are enthusiastic, maybe you're investing in me. You think I'm going to be a big-time YouTuber one day. Having something minted by me has intrinsic value. Maybe that's possible to you. So that's where I think, a lot of it is speculation. Are you speculating on the creator and their popularity? Are you speculating that the art itself will become popular? That's what's happening right now. I think we're going to take a different direction with NFTs, where you start getting things like, where's Wales at? So this is a very early example where this NFT, if you own it, acts as a key to a group. And I think they're really just exploring what those opportunities look like. So that's my opinion on it. I'm excited about being included in this project, because I think it's the first step of many toward getting NFTs to a point where they really do have intrinsic value. And then we can start doing things with them as a wider society. I think music is next. If anybody watching right now is like a big music person, I definitely encourage you, get involved in NFTs and start NFTing your music. That way, whoever owns it, you know that they are the one who has the commercial rights to that music. I think I remember reading, don't judge me for this, I read about Taylor Swift and her gripes about other people owning her music, and she couldn't get it. If she had NFT'd her music, she would be the only one allowed to use it. That's all I'm saying. So, let me see. Why do you mint on Ethereum and not Cardano to save loads of money? So actually, these guys are not on Cardano or Ethereum. They are on the Solana blockchain. So it's saving a lot of money that way. I think Ethereum 2, like the new, or what is it, FV2, whatever they're calling it, that's going to make I'm staking that right now. So I think whenever it does come out, it's going to solve a lot of these problems. And I think Ethereum is the best one. It's just so freaking expensive. Like, you want to send $5 worth of Ethereum, you're paying a $15 fee. You might as well just use PayPal at that point. Like, just use fiat currency if you're going to be trading on Ethereum. So Cardano, I think, is going to solve a lot of that problem, but I think the criticism of Cardano is that they have some kind of centralization to them. I don't know too much about it, although I do own about $1,000 worth of Cardano. And then Solana, I don't own any, but people are very enthusiastic about it, the ones that actually know what they're talking about. So I'm all about it. Let's see some comments here, and then we'll move on from the NFTs. So I think I've advertised this adequately. Wealthywhales.io, good roadmap, good plans, good start to a new set of what NFTs could be. I'll just leave that up, and you guys can see what's already been done and doing, and then I'll read some comments, and then we'll move on away from NFTs. So let's see. Crazy Pasta says, is NFT a simple way to launder money? I'm not sure about that, and I think a lot of people have brought up the idea of money laundering being something other than what it actually is. I don't really think you can launder money with NFTs any easier than you could just with like any other cryptocurrency. Like, freaking Bitcoin, you could probably launder money more easily than you could with NFTs. I think what people are talking about when they say money laundering, what they actually mean is, are people minting 3 of the same NFT, which is fine, you can do that, buying their own for 10 Ethereum to jack up the price of the other 2 and then sell them that way. I think there are definitely people that are doing that. I mean, who's really buying a $400,000 NFT of an ape? Are there? Maybe? I don't know. But I think a lot of that is deception. I don't think it's money laundering, because it's math. That is, by definition, not what money laundering is. But it is absolutely deception. Let me see. Nothing is on Cardano. Just stop. Okay. At least we have money to launder. Stonked up, those are lit. Cardano, NFT game. Alright, so you guys are just kind of bantering with each other. No real question there. Crazy Pasta says nobody's going to buy your NFT. It's a simple way to ditch taxes, man. Money laundering. Alright, I don't know how. Somebody explain to me in the comments, because I'm really interested in this. Somebody tell me how you could achieve money laundering with this. Because I don't understand how you can do that. I understand how you could jack up the price of your own product by buying it yourself and deceiving people into thinking there's real demand for it. That I get. But I don't know how you could actually launder money like this. Somebody explain that to me, because I'd be really interested in knowing. What's the one that's supposed to be really focused on, what is it, Monero? I think that one's a really good one for money laundering. I don't think this is going to be able to achieve it here. Hey, Rusty Russ. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome. Let's go back to the market. Let's check that one out. One of my goals for holding this, I'm going to hold for a little while and see what the prices look like once they actually start selling, and then I'm going to make a decision. Remember, I'm getting 2 NFTs, 2 mints, so I'm probably going to sell one once I get a baseline of how this is going to go. I'm probably looking for, I don't know what they're even minting at yet, but I'm going to wait for a 5x from the minting price maybe, and then I'll put one up. The other one I'm just going to hold, because I want to be able to have access to whatever community projects they put out in the future. So having one NFT like this is going to be important to me. And I look forward to seeing where NFTs go as a concept in the future. All right, that's about it. Let's go back to the market. Let's go back to TradingView. And I'm not joining anything. If they make me join, I'm going to be very upset. Okay. All right, let's move on. Let's check out, see if there's any more comments. Pav4S said, hello, found you and your Wall Street bets vids. I died yesterday. Yeah, I'm starting to put up another one of those out. NFT is money laundering according to Crazy Pasta, and nobody will buy your NFT. That's fine, whatever. The elites do it with real art. So as far as real art goes, I think you can launder money with real art, like physical art that's easy to transact without anybody noticing. I think what a lot of people do is they'll paint like a red square on a piece of paper, or the Japanese flag. They'll paint the Japanese flag, that red circle, and they'll take it to their appraiser buddy, and their appraiser friend is going to look at it and say, yeah, this is a $3 million piece of art you got here. It's really good. And then now that person, the owner of it, takes it to a museum and donates $3 million worth of art so they can take their tax write-off. That happens all the time. That's still not really money laundering, but it's more deception. Yeah, the elites do that. I don't know if the same thing is happening with, because you can't donate an NFT to a museum, but I would love to understand how they could launder money this way. Rusty Russ, welcome, he says, the way you could launder money is if you had dirty cash and just gave someone in person for the NFT, then sold the NFT, and then it turned into U.S. currency. Okay, so you give somebody $100,000 cash, and then you buy an NFT from them. So why do you even need the NFT then? Like, that's what I don't understand. Like, where's the NFT coming in? Anyway, somebody said Hunter Biden did that? Okay. Very interesting. All right. Anyway, Crazy Pasta says, no, you should NFT as a capital investment and ditch taxes. But then you're stuck with this NFT that nobody wants to buy from you if you're just randomly minting NFTs and writing it off as a business expense. I don't know if that's the way. I'd like to see some more clarity on how they're actually achieving that. Anyway, what tickers do you guys want to look at? Let's look at that together. Otherwise, we can see what the market's doing on Merrill. How about GameStop? Because I'm getting hit hard on GameStop this week. So let's talk about my Sonic spread strategy a little bit. So I think I opened it, maybe it was April or May. I think the stock was about 220 when I started this strategy, so it was probably closer to June, right when it came down from this. So here's what I did. I wanted to wheel GameStop, because if you look at the premiums on a GameStop short put, it's like $2,000 a month. It's a lot, and I wanted to do that. But my issue with GameStop is this is a stock that can drop $100 overnight with no problem, like out of nowhere. So I didn't want to risk dropping down 200,000, or what is it, 20? This would have been about $23,000 for 100 shares of GameStop. That sounds absolutely ridiculous. So I wanted to protect myself, and I spent $2,000 to buy a put at the $150 strike. So about here. If the stock had dropped too low, below 150, I would stop losing money during my wheel. So I put up $22,000 of collateral, wheeled GameStop. I think I took about $2,000 off the top, just from that first wheel. The stock dropped, and I got assigned. Meanwhile, my $150 put had grown in value because the stock dropped. As it continued dropping, I continued wheeling and selling my covered calls, pulling $400, $300, $500 a week, depending on what the stock was doing that day. The whole time, I was losing money on the shares. My put was gaining value. And between that put going up in value and my wheel bringing in money, I was able to more than compensate for the stock dropping. Once it did start going back up again, I was, I had to flip back to short puts because I got assigned on my covered call. My long put, the $150 strike long put, started losing value. Now it's down like 90%. So that one's now getting destroyed. But the wheel that I sustained this whole time has now more than paid for the value of that long put. And even if I got assigned at 200 and had to sell at 150 by executing my long put, that would be a $5,000 loss. But I've made more than $5,000 throughout this time by wheeling, because the premiums are so crazy. It didn't even matter what GameStop was doing. I was able to pull thousands of dollars each month. So I'm probably, even though the current long put expires in October, on October 15th right here, I'm still going to open up a new one expiring in maybe February, March, and I'm going to continue wheeling it, because this has been a very successful strategy, the Sonic spread. I call it that because it's got wheels, because I'm wheeling, and it's got a hedge with the long put. So wheels and a hedge hog, fast hedgehog is Sonic. That's where the name comes from. So Visa, S&P, 250, EOY. Yeah, let me see. You guys are just throwing a couple names out there. Let's look at, let's see what SPY's got going on. We'll do a little technical analysis. All right, this is the scariest thing to me about SPY right now, is that we lost our moving average. Let me see. day, 1 day. How the hell do I add moving averages to this thing? This is why I stick to stock charts, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. Fuck it, let's do that. Mother Bilad. Alright, the moving average, wherever it is, whatever. The moving average looks like this. See how it connects all these bottoms? Turns it into one big line that looks like this. I think it breaks somewhere around here. For a very, hey, I kills you, welcome. For a very, very short amount of time, we dropped below the 50-day moving average, and then popped up above it again. And I said, great, we've seen the stock bounce several times off the 50-day moving average. All year it's been doing that, all the way through. Now we're kind of getting this point where we are losing that 50-day. And the 200-day is like way down here at like 380 something. I don't think we have a shot of getting anywhere near that. I think if the stocks start crashing again, there's going to be way too many people buying for that to even matter. But in the meantime, we have lost our 50-day moving average. And if you fudge a little bit, you can kind of see a head and shoulders pattern forming. So this green candle today, very, very important to me that we saw the stock start rising again, because it was getting a little bit scary yesterday. I think if we can recapture this 50-day moving average, we'll be in good shape. All right, Dennis says, press add indicators. And, oh, duh. Why did that take me so long? Moving average. All right, that's the 9-day moving average. Can I change 9-day? Bruh. Alright, I gotta learn what the fuck I'm doing. Alright, the 9-day moving average obviously doesn't look so hot. If we could recover the 9-day, that'll be kind of fun. I think we got a long way to go. There's gotta be a 50-day moving average in here. Why is it giving me all these 9-day moving averages? Ah, there we go. Figured it out. Okay. Alright, so the beige line, or the teal line is going to give us our 20-day. And you see we lost it. I think we have to recover that one pretty quickly, or else we're going to start looking at a downtrend, which we haven't had since February. In any case, I'm not flipping to bear gang yet. I think we're still in pretty good shape overall. This is a good one for me. And then, of course, we've got QQQ. QQQ has also lost its moving averages. This one, the 200-day for it was like down here somewhere. Let's see. When I add 200-day moving average, it's like, yeah, it's down here. So I think absolute worst case scenario overall, 340 is like the very bottom. I don't think we're getting below our 200-day moving average. It's not going to happen. But we can, start taking bites, start buying in between this 360 and 340 price. So I'm still holding, no problem. I'm still strangling, and I'm going to use the premium to reinvest into shares. So, and yeah, those asking, have I used TradingView before? Only when you guys make me. Every time I stream, everybody wants me to use TradingView. I guess it's better, but I usually just use stock charts because it gives me all my indicators are right there. Let's see, will it give me MACD? Yeah. Oh no, I can't add MACD because I have too many of these. MACD. No, I have two of them. All right. Yes, the MACD is also looking extremely bearish right now. Now, with MACD, I mean, this is my favorite indicator. We saw MACD starting to rise again, ever so slightly, but it looked like most of the selling pressure was off. We were starting to come back up. Now that we're dropping again and going into like the deepest, darkest territory, that does raise concerns. Like I said, I think the very bottom, at worst case scenario, 340. I don't think we're going to hit it, but if we do, it's time to start selling puts and using the money to buy calls. And then, what I was talking about with MACD is you can see over here, usually you see a very clear line, we're selling off, we're going down, and then the sell-off kind of slows down, and we start rising up again, where there's still selling pressure on, the stock is still doing poorly, but it's coming off, and now the price starts to rise. How do we turn on night mode? Somebody tell me, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Settings. Time zone, precision. No. No. I don't know. Somebody drops a comment, tells me how to use night mode, I'll switch, but I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Anyway. Alright, Pav, thanks for joining while you did. Hey, somebody wanted to look at SQQ. Yeah, rotation away from tech, huh? I've heard that one several times already. Wow, alright. SQQ. I guess we gotta zoom into, like, this month. Man. So, I mean, I can't fathom the idea of actually holding a triple leveraged bearish ETF. Hamburger menu top left. Night mode. Alright. Y'all like night mode better? We'll do night mode. Like, look at I mean, this thing back in 2000, how far back does it go? Like 2008, I mean, this thing has split so many times that if you shorted $80,000 worth of SQQ back in 2008, it would currently be worth about $8. So it's like, however much you can short is how much gain you would have. The thing is about these triple leveraged bears is that they burn hot and fast. I mean, you went from 70, on a split basis to 156 in like a month. You're doubling. It's probably even bigger spikes than that. Where's the 2020 crash? Yeah, there it is. Okay. So very, very quickly, I mean, you're seeing this thing like burn higher, but it's stayed below its 200-day moving average almost all the time. If this thing ever pierces its 200-day, just start shorting. But I mean, we're ticking up. Obviously, we've gone from like 5.5 to 6.5, 7.5 to 8.5. But I don't know. I mean, this is obviously it's not meant to be held over the long term anyway. The MACD is actually looking really strong. So if you're long on SQQ right now, then congrats, you're printing money. But for me, I can't. I think the market is too bullish overall to be sustained, to have a sustained downtrend. So I think we're going to stay rising continuously after every little dip. So I'm pretty much a perma bull. What I've done now, I'm starting to pick up TQQQ, which, I mean, you look at, you're not supposed to hold this thing for the long term, but I mean, come on, guys. Who says that if you bought $4 worth of TQQQ in 2016, it's worth 128 now? Who can honestly say, oh, that's no good because it decayed during that time? If you had just used, you're underperforming the base index by 1/2% if you had used this certain amount of leverage, like, or whatever, guys. Like, no, I'm letting somebody else do all the leveraging and the heavy lifting for me, paying all the fees, whatever. Anyway, I'm staying long TQQQ. I'm going to start wheeling it if I can get enough shares of it to do so. So I'm pretty excited about holding TQQQ at this point. It's coming off. I'm just going to buy more, and it's going to continue rising after it's had its dip. And maybe we do make it back to the 200-day moving average at 110. At this rate, that's like 2 more days of drop, and then we'll be there, and then it'll be time to bounce again. I mean, look at 2020. Look how quickly it recovered. Just flew right back up. Ah, somebody said, click shift. What, so just like drag? Ah, okay, very interesting. I didn't make you do that. Alright. So from the bottom, from the 2020 bottom, 761% when it reached its high, now about 622. Obviously, you're not hitting the bottom. Who the hell was buying TQQQ way down here in March 2020? But when I was buying SPY leaps, it was like June. Those are up 100%. What's going on? I'm losing my shift click. We're glitching out. Whatever. Alright, we'll come back to that. Anyway, that's my opinion on TQQQ right now. I don't see a lot of reason to stay bullish or bearish on it, even though we're melting off right now. I think we're going to just bounce and go right back to it. So I'm going to start wheeling this, and the premiums on these leverage ETFs are very, very high. Very, very high. So if you can wheel this and reinvest the premium back into shares, I can all but guarantee you're going to outperform the market. So that's my jam. Can I look up Bitcoin on here? Bitcoin futures. Will that work? No, that's not right. Bitcoin USD. Here it is. All right, let's see. What does our chart look like? God, that's crazy to even look at. I remember 2017. When I first started trading Bitcoin, it was like October, I think. It had broken 6,000. Oh, don't re-click shift. Yeah. So I started trading Bitcoin like right here in like October, right at the height of the boom, when it was really starting to pick up momentum. I wanted to get in earlier, but I was waiting for my paycheck, which was a mistake. I should have just bought. But anyway, I bought it at like 6,000. And then when the thing went to 19,500, it was like the very top. I remember being there at the screen on Coinbase. Back then it was called GDAX. And I was about to click. I had it all set up. I said, sell half. Because I had like tripled. So I had like $25,000, not coin. I was about to click it. I said, you know what? I'm going to just hold for the long term. Anyway, I sold it like here. Like when it was crashing. And I think I sold my Litecoin like right here. Like I totally screwed up and sold it. I haven't had any luck with anything other than Bitcoin itself. Somebody said click ruler. Yeah, that's so much easier. Oh my god. Thank you. Now it's doing that shit, man. Y'all are crazy with this like goofy ass app. I'm a boomer. Anyway. Now, you know, I got back into Bitcoin a little bit. Here's what I've been really excited about with Bitcoin. And I don't think enough people are doing this. And I'm planning on doing this for my freeloader challenge. I'm going to use Ledger X to wheel Ethereum. With Bitcoin, you need like $3,000. It's a little out of my range, but with Ethereum, $300, you can wheel it. You can wheel 1/10 of an Ethereum. So the premiums on it, as you might imagine, are pretty high. And I'm comfortable holding Ethereum anyway, even if I do get assigned and the thing drops. So using that on Ledger X, it's called Ledger. I'd pull up this screen. Let me just do that. LedgerX.com, I think. Yeah. So this website right here, Ledger X, you can actually wheel these contracts. So you can wheel a Bitcoin mini, which is 1/100th of a Bitcoin, or you can wheel a Deci on Ethereum, which is 1/10 of an Ethereum. It's pretty freaking dope. Once I have $300 in the challenge, and I do now, I just have to liquidate all my gift cards and stuff. I'm going to start wheeling Ethereum. So that's the way. Roaring 20s investing. I'm very offended. I'm not 34 years old. I know I'm a little bit of a boomer, but I'm not quite there yet. I'm not that old. I'm 30, so I'm about to be 31. What else we got? ZZ Joker remembers the GDAX days. Yeah, those were the fun ones. Is Ledger X still US only? To my knowledge, yes. To my knowledge, yes, it is only US only. I think there's other ones that are available in Europe. If you're in Australia, I've got nothing. You guys are like your own planet in Australia. I have no idea what's available to you. Oh, NL. Netherlands? You're from the Netherlands? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you guys have. I don't know what's available over there. Rusty Russ says, wait, I want in? What does Rusty Russ want in on? Zero Busy says, I tried wheeling on FTX, but it's cash settled. I don't care how to wheel it then. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what you can do. I don't know about FTX. I don't know what that is. I only know what's available to me. I mean, when you're from the United States is the world. Like, you don't really have a whole lot of international exposure, honestly. We're not great about that in the U.S. I mean, I lived in Europe. I lived in Korea, so I'm still connected to those places. But I think by and large, if you're like a YouTuber from the U.S., your audience is the U.S., your products are U.S., and it's kind of like that, unfortunately. Binance is worldwide. I wonder if you can you trade, can you wheel on Binance though? I'm not sure. Have I heard about Vive NFTs? No, but I am interested. I could look up Vive NFTs. Is it possible to wheel on Binance? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think it is either. All right, good brokers for Europeans. Tastyworks is in Europe. We should do Tastyworks. Let's look at Algorand, because this is one. Can I get in on Algorand? So Algorand was actually a really good investment for me. I bought when it was just about to pierce $1. So it was kind of, I got pretty close to nailing the bottom on Algo. The reason I chose this one as a big investment, I put about, I think, $1,200 into it. The reason I chose Algorand is because it offers interest on Coinbase. So if you're getting a good 4.5% interest annually, that's really not bad for holding a cryptocurrency. So I would have, if Bitcoin had had interest on it, I would have just held it right on through in 2017. Instead of selling it, just hold it, and continue to get money off of it. Or if I could have wheeled it back then, I would have done that too. Algorand offers you some hold rewards, not with not some funky like forks or anything like that. It just pays you interest on Coinbase, and I think is it not Binance, BlockFi also. I'm not sure. I know Coinbase does though. So I'm happy to hold this one. I mean, it went up above 250 at one point. I felt like I was a genius, buying at pretty much the perfect time. Now it's coming off a little bit, but I'm still happy to hold this one. And I've also got Chainlink. They offer interest on, there it is. They offer interest on BlockFi. So I screwed up though. I bought it at like 28. Now it's down at 22. So I need some recovery. But it's still, I mean, this is a cryptocurrency. It's going to be volatile. So I'm happy to have Link. Might get more Link, but we'll see. Given that we've had this market drop now. Let me see, where are we at? Given that we've had a pretty sizable market drop. For this market, this is a big drop. I'm wondering, when we get paid, all of us are getting paid in the next couple of days. I'm going to get my paycheck on Friday. Should I buy equities or should I buy cryptocurrency? And I'm telling you, man, there's part of me that just wants to go grab, no, not this one, we're done with that. Part of me wants to just say, hey, go all in on Chainlink. Observe some level of degeneracy. Get that 3% dividend, essentially, and root for some more upside. Because, if I deposit $5,000 on Monday, or Friday, I guess, into equities, I'm going to get, what is that, like 11 shares of SPY, which does not, I mean, it's, something, but it's not like this huge, big move. Now I'm thinking, hey, could Chainlink be something important? Did it bump in 2017? I don't even think this thing traded. Oh yeah, October, December. This thing did start trading in 2017. I remember seeing it on 4chan, because every like 8 months, I'll pop in on 4chan just to see what people are talking about, because that's a very cringe environment. If you don't know what 4chan is, just 4chan.org. Look around one time and then leave. Don't go back. But man, people must have made bank on it from 20 cents up to $1. Yeah, it's 7x in a short period of time. But I mean, are we going to get another 7x out of this? I don't know. But I think that since it's paying interest, it's doing pretty well. It's going to be a good hold. So I dig that. Do you guys want to keep talking about crypto, or do you want to go? You want to talk about some strategies, something like that? Oh, somebody wants the Theta beanie. Yeah. Hey, let's get you that. Let's get you. Dang. Scroll back to like the very first comment on this video. I got the link to the store there. Here, let me get privacy very quickly, and then so I can pull up my link to it. Where is your, okay, I gotta pin this thing. There it is. I'll go back to that. Yeah, there's a link to the store. You can get the hat, you can get the vest, the hoodie. So my friend sent me this. He made the store. He's one of the Lancers in House Theta, so it's been pretty cool, and it's actually pretty comfortable. So I'm digging it. Hadoken says, "Hey Mikey, thanks for your channel. I made 18,000 on premiums, wheeling Tesla and Lucid since late July. Wow, congratulations! And that is phenomenal. Good trading. I used to wheel Tesla like at the money, but now it's like $80,000 for a single wheel. And of course, if I had known it would go up to $800, I would have just continued wheeling it. But it seemed expensive in the 600s. Now things at 800. But you can make a good amount of money if you're wheeling it. I mean, I know Power Cow, he's making like $20,000 a week wheeling Tesla. It's unbelievable. Dan Ontorio says freeloader update. So funny that you mentioned it. I am absolutely still working on the freeloader challenge. I wanted to make a video this week, but it's not going to happen. It's just going to be next week. But I'm still using some of those surveys and stuff like that, but I'm now also doing focus groups, which are incredible. Go to Thriving. I'm not sure if it's thrivingtogether.com, but look for it. You'll find it. Really, really good resource for finding focus groups. Yesterday, I watched commercials for Cox Internet, They gave us 3 different commercials, like which one of these do you like better? And then me and a group of, I think, 5 or 6 other people would talk about it with a host. They paid me $200 for 2 hours of giving them feedback on these commercials, helping them decide which one to run. I try to explain to them, like, Cox Internet they got a lot of work to do, and making this commercial is not really moving the needle, but they were very happy to give me $200 for my input. So, really happy with it. How much time you'd say you spend on Slumlord Challenge daily? Well, daily is not a really good estimate because it varies a lot per day. Probably about minimum of 10 minutes a day, because I'm going to do at least 1 survey a day. But yesterday I spent 2 hours on it because I did that focus group. But you get a good amount of money for it. You know, if you do a focus group for 2 hours, you're going to give me $100 an hour. I will stay on that focus group as long as you want me to. And if you do a couple of those, they start inviting you to more of them. So I did the $60 focus group, and they invited me back. They said, hey, you did a great job. Why don't you want to do this one too? I said, yeah. And now I'm hoping that they're going to come back to me with more focus groups of even higher value. Now that's a good use of your time, especially if you're throwing it into cryptocurrencies, something like that, with some real high potential. I'm excited about it. No, it's this, COX Internet, spelled like that. Love the freeloader series. Keep it up. I'm consistent. Hope you'll be in your more successful vids. You know, it's... I had asked my friend at work, I was like, I wonder why people enjoy the freeloader challenge. It looks so boring and lazy to me. And she was like, hey, when you do your Theta Gang videos, nobody knows what the hell you're talking about. There's like some people that are interested in it. Some are just watching for the memes. There's a huge barrier to getting involved in using the Strangle strategy. But there is like no barrier at all. Anybody can lay around and freeload all day. So the people that I'm reaching are a very wide group of freeloaders. People that are poor, people that are rich and want more money, and that's why they're rich. People right in the middle, teenagers, everybody wants to freeload. So I'm having fun with it. There's a lot of good things coming for it. I'd like to get to the point where I can do a freeloader challenge every month, but I have to be a full-time YouTuber before I can do that. So we're getting there. I'd like to make more I'm working on a Dank Trades video right now. I'm about half done. I finished the rolling video. I'm going to release that one as soon as I can. And I want to do the freeloader challenge after that. I got Dank Trades coming up and then freeloader challenge. I owe you guys a 3K challenge video. It's just that nobody watches those anymore. So it's a lot of work for, not getting a whole lot out of it. Can we look at US dollar futures? What's going on with US dollars? Or can we just look at like versus the yen, I guess? I don't know. What's going on with dollars versus the yen? It hasn't been trading that long for some reason. It's weird. I guess the dollar is strengthened against the yen, so there's a fun bit of information. I wonder how it's doing against the yuan or the renminbi. Anyway, thoughts on Alibaba? Let's see, Baba. Wow. All right. So Alibaba is a sell. You don't need to see much more than that. I mean, they have tanked. How much lower can they go realistically? I mean, the next support is like at 105. Maybe they'll find some support at the previous bottom at 129. Ew. Not happy with it. You guys want to see the euro versus the dollar? Yeah, we can do with that. Zazy Joker says, do I invest in Solana NFTs? So I have Solana NFTs that are sponsoring me for this video. I don't want to talk too much about Wealthy Whales because I already did that extensively, but Wealthy Whales is a Solana NFT token. They're using their JPEGs to act as keys to get into other groups, and then they will provide dividend from that. So that's my investment into Solana, but that's it. We could talk more about NFTs in another stream, but we did that extensively together already. So thriving. Derek Buzz said, thriving together don't look right. Try this one instead. If you don't like that one, try L&E. Try L&E research. They've hit me up several times already to do some of these, so I'm pretty happy with that. Buying a hoodie discount codes, yeah, use Mikey10, and that'll give you 10%. Yeah, thanks for making that purchase. Fire Nance will be pleased. He put a lot of effort into making all this merch. He just had a baby too, so I'm sure his hobbies are changing a little bit, and it'll be pleasing to him that people are actually interested in what he's made. So I dig it. Jack Ma got disappeared. At one point, he was actually presumed dead. Do you guys remember that? People were speculating that he was actually dead. He did appear again. He was just lobotomized. but he is around. You guys want to see euro versus the dollar? Is it going to give me that, or is it going to make me do... Why doesn't it want... There it is. Alright, euro versus the euro is killing... Oh, now this is the dollar versus the euro. Alright, so the dollar has been absolutely crushing it. This doesn't look right. There's no way. This can't be accurate. Is the dollar like really rising that much this year? There's no way. There's no way. There's something different about this. Okay, so Matt O asked a great question. So this is the last thing that we'll do today. Hey Mario, if you want to join under my wing, just watch the videos first and then join the Discord. The link will be in the description. And if you really want to get in on it, you can get in on the special groups on Patreon. So you'll find that in the description of this video as well. Yeah, I'm trying to go full time soon, so there'll be a lot more content coming. In the meantime, the best way to reach me is going to be via Discord, especially if you're a Lancer or you're a USD. If you're a Lancer or there's some Centurion slots left, Henchmen is going to be unlimited slots. Those, if you're one of those people and you're in the special Discord groups, then I'll answer you right away. So yeah, I'd be happy to show you some stuff. Euro USD. All right, so Matt O asked a great question. He said, best dividend stock. So I'll show you guys my dividend portfolio, and then we'll wrap it up for the day. Let me get my privacy. You guys might even be able to hear my daughter right now. She is awake, and that means that it's family time soon. So let me pull up my Merrill Edge account one more time. We'll look at my dividend portfolio, and then that's a wrap. Oh, good. I'm only down $300 today. It's not bad. The market has come back. All right. I'm going to do my dividend portfolio, and then I'll wrap it up for the day. All right, so let's look at the different dividend stocks. So there was one point in trading where I thought, come here. You guys want to meet my daughter? Come. Come here. Oh, okay. There she is. Here's baby Becky. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Off? Okay. You can wear it. All right. Anyway, so here's my dividend portfolio. This ain't gonna last. I'll just give her back. I'll be done for you. Always got to keep my hat. But anyway, hey, thank you, James, for getting on that. Appreciate it. All right, so here's what we got as far as dividends go. So a lot of these stocks pay dividends, but they're not really dividend stocks. Like Apple will pay you a dividend, but I think it's like 1%. There's a portion of my portfolio that I use specifically for collecting dividends, and it's these weeks like this where stocks are continuously dropping that I kind of need that dividend to keep myself motivated and to provide some more money for reinvestment. So here's a big one, not Coinbase, Energy Transfer. So it's a pretty small investment, but I made all of these shares by wheeling and then using the premium to buy shares. So they own, I think, like 40% of the oil pipelines in the United States, and the money that they receive from it, a lot of it is redistributed to shareholders. They're not actually a dividend, it's a distribution, because these are, what's it called, an LLP or something like that, or limited partnership, they're LPs. So it's technically not a dividend, and it does make taxes a little bit more complicated, but I use TurboTax, so it just does it all for me. That's a good one. It's a little bit more risk, though, because you're heavily invested in the oil market. Let's see what else we got here. Coca-Cola. So Warren Buffett says... Alright, Coca-Cola. Warren Buffett says own Coca-Cola because they're going to pay you a dividend and they're going to increase it every quarter. They're an aristocrat. So I bought myself 100 shares, and now it's worth 103 shares just by reinvesting that dividend. I think the divvy is like 3 or 4%. So own the dividend aristocrats and you can't go wrong. LRCX has a small dividend on it. It's only about 1%, but they have indicated several times that they're interested and committed to raising their dividend. So they just raised it to about $1.50 a share. Still really, really low, but over a year it's about $6, so it's about 1%. But they are raising it, so it's, you know, it's something. Mara, I don't know anything about their dividend. I don't think they have a dividend. Altria, so this is a cigarette company, but they pay you dividends quarterly, and they've been doing that for many, many years. So I expect they're going to continue, so I own that one. NLY, this is like a real estate. It's an REIT, so it is invested in real estate, but they own mortgages instead of owning properties. So they're not just landlords. Anyway, same type of deal though. They're legally obligated, if they want to stay an REIT, to pay 90% of their profits as dividends. So there's one. PFFD, this is the only one that is actually a true, honest-to-God, fixed income asset. They pay me something like, what is it? I get like $25 a month from them, so it's really not a lot of money. It's like 0.5% a month. It's like 6% a year. Not bad for the price. And there's really very little variation in the stock price. So I'm interested in getting more of this in the future. Prudential is probably, I'm very, very confident in Prudential. They're a good company. They keep raising their dividend. Buy it, own it. QYLD is, or QQQX to QYLD. So these are both ETFs or mutual funds. They pay you monthly in QYLD. QQQX is quarterly. But the dividends are substantial. Even though QYLD is getting schwacked right now, there's really very little variation in the stock price. And I'm getting like $300 a month in dividend off of these guys, so they're good. SPHD is just a dividend ETF off of the S&P. And UWMC has been like a piss poor investment, but they do pay their dividends. So hopefully one day that will recover. And last thing I'll show you guys, let me see the estimated investment income. Alright, so over the course of a year, this is what Merrill Edge thinks I'll receive in dividend. So this month is one of the lightest months. PFFD is paying me, they're giving me $22. Prudential, $122. XLF, that's the financial sector ETF. QYLD, $314. SPHD. I mean, so I'm getting, you know, a good amount of dividend even on the weakest month. And in October, this will be a big one. This is like all of them because it's a quarterly expiration. So really, really good amount of money coming in October. My goal is to get, this is just my non-retirement account. With my retirement account, it's a little bit more. But in my non-retirement, I'd like to get to the point where I'm getting $12,000 in dividends. That way I'm getting $1,000 a month just in divvy. So that's the goal. And I'm throwing just a little bit of money each time in premiums into a dividend stock, mostly QYLD. So that's my jam. All right, I guess I'm gonna wrap it up here. Last thing I want to do, thank you very much to Wealthy Wells for sponsoring. I'm looking forward to this project. I'm gonna pin there. I'll drop their link one more time. Yeah, check them out. Hey, if you guys aren't into NFTs, it's fine. Like, you don't have to. I think that there is a use case for NFTs that's developing in the future, and Wealthy Wells is taking one step toward getting us there, and they're going to do more. I think NFTs are going to have their place. I think we're going to do a lot more than just JPEGs of rocks and JPEGs of turkeys or whales or monkeys. It's going to go places. So now getting in on the ground floor, it is exciting to do that. I think music is going to be a big one. And hey, if you are a music producer, I'm very interested in your perspective on it. So please, if you want to, email me, kamikazecash3k@gmail.com, and I would love to see what your opinion is on music NFTs, because those will be a lot of fun too. And in the meantime, hey, I'm just happy to be part of a really cool project. I'm really excited to see what they do with this key method that they're using with these NFTs. So, Jeff, what is my day job? I'm a cartographer for the government, but I'm trying to quit pretty soon. I want to go full-time YouTube. And it's people like those two that hit me up with the super chats and the Patreon people buying the jackets, all that little stuff adds up. And you guys are helping me so I can make more videos for you. That would be my real goal, is to be a full-time YouTuber. Because I have fun with this. I can stay here all day just chit-chatting. But anyway. Alright, thank you guys very much for all tuning in. Like I said, I'm going to try to publish the rolling video as soon as possible. It's already done. I just have to get the sponsor to thumbs up on it. And I marked it clearly, so you guys can skip the sponsorship if you don't like it. I know a lot of people almost killed me last time I did a sponsor. Don't worry, this one's not a penny stock. It's a legitimate product. But anyway, as soon as they give me the thumbs up, I'll publish that one. And then the very next one in the shoot is the next Dank Trades video, because I've been working on that for a while and it's time to finish it. So, all right, good luck with the last power hour of trading, everybody. We got another half hour left. God, I can't put it down. I'm so excited to see. Are we going to recover? Can't put it down until I say. We're out of doji. we're still in play for the day. All right, thanks everybody. I'm gonna bounce out of here.